Welcome to Honest Whispers Review to Sale. On this video I'll be reviewing Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Tachikoma Solid State Society version 1/24 scale action figure. It was released by Wave Corporations back in September 21st, 2008, and it is part of her trademark W.H.A.M series, which is the Wave High Advanced Model series. This was designed by show creator Shirow Masamune, which is actually inspired by the original design called the Tachikoma, but due to licensing issues, he created the Tachikoma for the show standalone complex. There's no sculptor credited to this. There's a good chance that they decided not to, or I might have missed it, which is printed in the fine print, or I think, in my assumption, is that this was done by a team effort, and usually they don't list the name of people in the sculpting team. I'm going to go over 6 different categories to review this. First category is design, which basically goes over the look, the concept, and in this case even the points of articulations. And this one, unfortunately, I don't know exactly how many points of articulations there are. There are many, definitely. Each leg comes with at least 2 points of articulations. They're all basically ball joints, so you do have a lot of movement. The 2 arms come with points of articulations. Even the eye basically rotates. And there is also another point of articulation on the body, which is more like a pivot joint, so you can rotate the back. I don't know how many degrees you can go, but at least you can move it. And good chance a lot of these parts in the accessory area, like in the back, there's a good chance this little thing right here, this circle with the 2 points sticking out, almost looks like a gun, like a weapon. Oh, I know what this is. This is for the webbing. They have the Tachikoma have webbing, so those rotate. So it definitely has a lot of points of articulations. Also, as you notice, it does come with a mini 3-inch Motoko Kusanagi figure. She does have 2 points of articulations on her shoulders, and she comes with the base. And also, as for accessories, the Tachikoma comes with the Vulcan cannon and the grenade launcher. And you'll notice it's brilliantly packaged. They even have put switch out wheels on every corner, so basically you can switch out all 4 of its feet, which is basically like 3-point, it's like a 3-point claw or base, similar to the hand, but then rather than something thin like that, it's like a wide platform for each. It's a little bit hard to notice or see, but what I'll do is I'll find a good angle to focus on. So you can switch out every hand, or I'm sorry, the feet, so you can have it in the wheel mode, basically. So very nice features, a lot of nice accessories. And as far as the look goes, proportion wise and detail wise, it's amazing. It looks even better than the actual animation. But of course, something like this, a 3D model, they did it so accurately that it looks not just exactly the same as how it should from the animation, but as I said, it looks better seeing this in 3D than in 2D animation. So definitely they got the look covered. The concept of this is pretty amazing. And I'm pretty sure even the back right here, the doors, they should be able to open. I did see hinges on the bottom side. Let me see here if I could get a better focus. There's so many different versions. This is probably one of the I mean, for me, it's one of my favorite versions of the Tachikoma out there. So everything about it, the look, the concept, and even the features, the way you can not just switch out weapons and accessories, but you could even basically positions its legs and do something slightly different. So definitely, for me, can't get better than this. I give it a 10 out of 10 on the design. Next category is sculpting. Sculpting basically covers the execution and also the quality of the mold casting and all the details. And as I mentioned already, there's so much details in this, especially seeing it in 3D. You get a lot of these nice lines, the seam lines, the mechanical parts, everything about it. Even the little, I guess it looks like little armors on the edge of the arms, the feet. Very, pretty much down to the smallest details, they got everything covered. So, and as I mentioned, the eyes kind of has these three eyes, so pretty much can look any direction it wants without even rotating. Like even those dots, I mean everything, it's just the lines, the curves, everything's very sharp and consistent. I don't see any molding issues or any seam lines that might have been created from the casting. It's amazing. Even when I see even Motoko, it's basically a 3-inch figure, and you could see for something this small, details on the hair, jacket, the color, her sleeves are folded up and wrinkled up. It's just very nicely done. Can't get a real good face look at the close-up of the face, but then unfortunately I mean the figure, everything itself, well proportioned, matches Tachikoma itself too, so nicely done. Sculpting, at least from what I can see through the box, I don't see any flaws at all. I give the sculpting score a perfect 10 out of 10. Next category is colors. Colors basically covers the painting, the quality of the paint, accuracy of the colors, and accuracy of the application. And this one, don't see any flaws at all. I do see maybe yeah, I really don't see any flaws at all. Now I do see, for instance, they did some like black and gray toning around those circles right there on the, which I previously called it the armor, like armor on the edge right there. Well, those circles have some like a black and gray tone to it. the right, you see a lot of it more defined. Left side, not quite as much. So there's probably one guy that painted all of these, and unfortunately the one they assembled it with ended up being somewhat asymmetrical. Looking at the same circles on the feet, these circles are more consistent. This one right here on the back left, you could see like one or two circles where it doesn't have much black or gray. So for me, I'd rather have consistency. And even on this, on the surface of the black or of the circle, there's more gray on the surface. So it does have a natural, like a dirt oil look to it. So I don't quite mind. I don't really see it as a flaw. I personally would have liked everything to look consistent, but it still has a nice realistic look to it. So just something I want to point out. Now the blue colors, the tone of the blue, white, the gray, everything is very accurate to how it looks in the anime. And even the blue, this one has a nice gloss finish to it. Keep in mind there are many different versions. I like this probably the best just because it looks very close to the anime version. It has a nice shine to it compared to the matte finish version where it's more of a dull finish and doesn't have a shine. And even the metallic version, which I do like a lot, but then the metallic version just tends to look a little too shiny, so the tone of the blue seems a little lighter. So this one, every angle pretty much accurate. Even the lines on the leg or the back, those seam lines, it has a nice consistent outlined, like a black outline to it. So the details definitely stand out. Really, there's so, I mean, I could, every nook and cranny is done pretty much perfectly down to even the smallest details. And even Motoko overall, especially for a figure this small, painted very nicely. I don't see much flaws or errors. Even right there, the gold on her shoulders, nice solid lines, has a nice metallic gloss finish to it. So the colors, something like this is an example of pretty much perfect coloring. Therefore, I give the color score a 10 out of 10. Next category is packaging. Packaging, basically, I just go over the design and the look of it. And this, and of course the quality of the packaging. And this, as you can see, is a window box packaging. And this is probably the best looking window boxes you could ever find for a action figure or any kind of collectible. I love the transparent box where you could pretty much see the figure in any angle. They even got clever with the base by putting the accessories in there as well. Pretty much every side is unique. There's no repeated graphics. And even for this one, I do love how the name goes across two sides. It's a very nice, clever, even the top. And this one, what I like even more is that Wave Corporation released different figures, different Tachikomas, and even a 1/10 scale Motoko Kusanagi figure, and they used the same type of look and design of the box, a transparent window box with these white writing. So I love how everything kind of matches and consistent with their product line. And as you can see, not only does it have all the fine print details on the back here, but it also has some pretty much on the bottom, which I'll flip around and show so it's right side up. So definitely can't get better than this, literally. And all the pieces seem to be nicely in place. Of course, this is factory sealed, never opened. So, and they use not just those little plastic, those little wires with metal, or some have metal. This one's actually plastic. But they also have a little plastic, like a casing to hold everything in place so nothing moves. So everything perfectly designed. I give the packaging score 10 out of 10. Next category is value. Value basically goes over the retail versus quality and retail versus aftermarket value. And this one came out basically around 10 years ago. So for something this old, I can tell you has a lot of aftermarket value. This originally retailed for roughly around $50. So you could have maybe bought it for a little bit cheaper, but then but this was basically an import. They did have a US seller version, but this particular one was an import and only available, I believe, as an import. So this one, yeah, you probably had to pay at least $50. Now, when I checked and researched, there is no used one available whatsoever, and the lowest new one, which I don't know how the condition of the box is, which to me is a huge factor. Lowest I've seen on Amazon was $188, and that is with shipping included. And lowest I've seen on eBay is $195, and that's also with shipping included. So this thing definitely has a lot of aftermarket value. As I mentioned, out of all the different versions, whether if it's a variant color or a same blue Tachikoma, but maybe it might have came with Ishikawa. It's like the metal finish version. That one came with Ishikawa. Whatever the case it is, I know there's one that came with Bato as well. So this one, the one with the Motoko, usually that's the most sought after one. So this one usually has the highest demand, which also equals the highest aftermarket value. So something like this, 10 years old, being at least over 300% its original retail value, I couldn't ask for anything more. Makes it even harder for me to let it go. Unfortunately, what I might do is just start off with the I don't want to sell it price and go down from there. So the value on this, really can't get any better than this, and I could see it continue to go up in value, because when I seen other ones, The lowest was the 195. The next lowest was I mean, at least on eBay, the next lowest was like over 200, and pretty much same with Amazon. The next lowest was maybe like 190 something to 200, and I've seen one which is probably insane, at least at this point in time, as high as 1,000. So either way, I mean, I definitely see the price going up. Maybe not that high, but not 1,000, but who knows, 50, 70 years from now, that could be a possible value. But even 10, 20 years from now, I could say a realistic value for this can easily climb up to 300, maybe even 350. So the value, really, this is an example of something that just tends to surpass any expectations. Therefore, I give the value score 10 out of 10. Final category is overall, which basically accumulates the 5 prior categories: design, sculpting, colors, packaging, and value. And this one, as far as it goes, perfect scores straight down the line. Very rare to find something like this, but I give credit to W.H.A.M Corporation. Definitely, at least all the ones that I've got have been like amazing quality, like superb quality. So everything about it, I like it a lot. This is actually my second Tachikoma. This is the favorite one I have, and even being unbiased, just everything about it, it's so cool looking. I can stare at this for hours. So everything about it, design, sculpting, colors, packaging, value, not just accuracy, but it just looks amazing in 3D. Therefore, I give this overall score a perfect 10 out of 10. To recap, design, 10 out of 10. Sculpting, 10 out of 10. Colors, 10 out of 10. Packaging, 10 out of 10. Value, 10 out of 10. And overall, 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time, give Solid State Society a chance. It's actually a movie off the standalone complex series. Very nice quality, pretty cool action.